当个的接下去的算中，现在么的接本中吧，世界龙吧，大不了几百个。世界这不晓得我说在多见见见的路那路大嘛把嘛拉去这跟不把把么这把这玩着讲。感觉了嘛，南街大就是那自然东街的了嘛老不老也就是说，老双人的讲是阿拉王。定制东京这白给了做大个路，就算这我是新疆老多说，去兰东这我是新疆老多说，兰这我是新疆老多。这把一些专家我是新疆老多说，刚给定见这玩意中，搞把没把钱，没把钱把没把大，没把我没帮助，没把他的都没东西没。这把你一点把做不三节马南节当把的老乡做真节做完了嘛就结果送都结行了大概就烂配的大概定把当瞬间节动家境帮着把这瞬间拉的说能看当年不心境他们去定的老南没把样到把做不三节就光旁容不去到把下第一句的单不就刚有新的多年是浪玩酒，年不三八讲究就的审计吧的。去年不关注到滚龙马那不滚的新班草，第二刚新班是去呢等你他咱们就公挂就吧他打了3个村的啦有啊，但3个村的啦多就送你些杂技有不能给。So
again, cultivate a motivation of bodhicitta, thinking that may all sentient beings, limitless the space, attain the state of unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. And for that sake, I'm going to listen to the Dharma and then engage in practice. To cultivate such an unmistaken motivation when listening to the Dharma. And the Dharma we are listening to is the Buddha's single intention, the Gong Chik. And we are in the section of the secret mantra, the Vajrayana, consisting of 28 Vajra statements. And now we come to Vajra statement number 16.
Tande dorji sondi ka tangarwe nyamnyong lokto yin so. Ka karere sena jawa dorjin chang rwa tenindi ka te tang gar suwa ke kantar ka te tam muntun ba ke ta nyamnyong yo na ta de nyamnyong chedin chak yo mari sumbare ta chirtang re ying sundu ta ka da tin ju nang le ma xie be nyam nyong yo na yang de tumong ma be che chu da be la ke len ki yu ba yin za de jo ban ji tin sung go ga dan tuen go song go yo ba ten chir dang dang aran so nyam lin chi du nyam lin ke ram ba na na ta nyam dang na wa dang du cho mambo yong ko yo ba re song zang de la song yo go yo ra den cho tam ji ta nyam lin che din chi du tene nyam yong cha ma ka dan thun de yo re te sen ra ke go yo ma re nyam lin che din ma jong ba la te ne tene yang cham cha no wa dan tro yong si ke yo ba yin zang te zo la tin ba ke tene nyam yong yo na ta dang bo so so ke san ji ke ka dan thun ku yo da me ra ri na so so ran top ke tene a ko na ang dang bo ri te tene so so ke ta la ma ge bi ni tham je la tene ta hi gong ju ba na yi ke de so nyam yong de so gang da gang yi mi gan zhen xu na tene so so ke ga dan tun ku yo mi de Teni to so ke kali na yon ba to so na ne ha konger ba.
So it says experience and realization that is incompatible with the Buddha's instructions is false. So the Buddha's instruction, instead of Vajra, one's experience must not be contradictory to those teachings. So this is saying that you might have an experience or a vision, but if it contradicts the instructions, the teachings, then it is not authentic and not an authentic experience. And that is said because other people claim that if something is experienced or realized that was not taught in the instructions of the Buddha and the treatises, it is a special dharma. And so Jikten Sumgön says that it is not if it doesn't agree with the Buddha's instructions, with the Buddha's teachings. So when we engage in practice, we might experience all kinds of things, different visions and experiences. And that is why this verse is mentioned here. Of course, if one practices in an authentic way, then one doesn't have to worry whether or not one's experience conforms with the Buddha's teachings. But it is that because we often do not engage in practice in an authentic way, that sometimes we are mistaken and we are confused in our practice. What this is saying here is that whatever experience it is, it has to be in accordance with the Buddha's instructions. So ideally, you know that on your own, whether or not it is in accordance with the Buddha's teachings. But if not, then as you mentioned before, you rely on a spiritual teacher with whom you share your experiences. And then based on such communication, you will find out whether or not the experience is compatible with the Buddha's instructions.
Tene kabre ta soso ke nyam tang nawa tang malam da so tamji sanje je ka tang tun du yoba yin yang dala shimba tang nzimba ji ro siba re wa tene shimba dan nzimba ji so yin na tene de yang ko alan chingzi ge jo chan ro yu zan tene tarate teloba ke naroba la Shimba chuji naroba sungoya ga de rwa de inza ta ya gebhini la ya shone teni data bas jangwa ina teni gebhini ga yang dangwa la tin teni soso ke de nyam tam nawa de zo tam chi chingzi ge jor ma song war teni tawa tozi ke joran ro la so ba yungdi tenda inza teni 강다양 냠다 나와 송한데 되네 야 소소게 gebhini tan la hyo tan chi tamna ya bo yong go yore 되네 tan de so tamje ka dan thungo sonya ge dubzi zo onde ta jaru kana na 되네 ndra kantar ta chamdu labzane zonde teni sanga dorji thigba pardo teni chuchor changla manur ba tingyu yoba inchang tena na lamte lo korsa tan thrsa mi ba inchang teni da ta juji zo de jachap jambang gombo ke sonne kanyi jalle chingke ngayang jiktin dana yumi de malu teni chone churyin kunchin chinchin yimin be Desher Changsung Rani Jiga Dode Kanyi De Mato Tutsur Hikser Deyang Tamchulan Nuba Siparan Jor Sonda Tilong de Gdobdwa.
So sometimes it could also happen that one's experiences and dreams and visions and so on are compatible with the Buddha's teachings, and yet it is possible that we become attached to them, that we cling to them. And if that happens, then such becomes the cause of bondage in samsara. So therefore Tilopa said to Naropa, you must cut through attachment, clinging attachment. Therefore, when these experiences arise, one should share these with one's spiritual teacher, and then he will give a proper instruction. So in this way, then one's visions or experiences and so on will not become a cause of binding one further to samsara, but they become a cause of realizing the view. So therefore, when these kind of visions and experiences arise, one ideally shares them with one spiritual teacher. And so then there is a quote that establishes this point of the necessary conformity with the Buddha's instructions. So now basically following this instruction, starting from the Buddha's words with the Vinaya and the precepts, the training of the refuge up until the Vajrayana teachings, it will then be complete and unmistaken without deviations. So this quote that establishes that is by Maitreya, who said, someone who is more learned than the Buddha does not exist in this world, and the supreme true reality of everything is accordingly known by the omniscient one, but not by others. Thus, do not mix up such teachings with the sutras that were established by the hermit himself. Since they destroy the way of the sage, the teachings are harming the excellent Dharma.
Da dorji song jubden bade Gong ba tamjin garmi hibar go song nan da karchenbo tu chaga yorwa tirdan da perna nangba sanje ba sanje jumdin de rang song yoba chuchar yina dene ga hege da zhandong ren da ngidong re se dene da so chozam tuen de ba nan zhe yore song ke yores da de mare song Jikten song gong ge tamang garmi de higore zhandong da ngidong ke tin za tamjin garmi de higo yore song re dan de garmi yimban de sanje kendo la kangtar dikpa jiang mazashin gewan posum sopar je rang semne yong sundol dan sanje timba yin sungban din na dikpa jiang mazawatan gewan posum je pa din na mandu pa je yomaris chando yin ngidong yin din na mandu pa medu ta tenyalang gawa je kawa yong higre dikpa jiang mazashin sota kapsa dikpa jiang mazashin re Jansam ji kapsu yang dikpa jiang maza xin re. Sangha ji kapsu yang dikpa jiang maza xin re. Ten zang teni ta zhandong dang ngidong pa la tambong garwa mi pa te tega rang kan drop choko drop top ko yo re. Tega rang kan drop ko yo ba res.
So then come to Vajra statement number 17. Which is also very important. And it says, one must never contradict any of the intentions of the Buddha's instructions. So with regard to the Buddha's instructions, the Buddha's teachings and themselves, even within that, there are some who say that there are that there are certain teachings that require further interpretation, and then there is some which possess a definitive meaning. And so, therefore, they say it is sufficient to accord with one of the respective aspects. But Jikten Sumgön says that it is not the case. One must never contradict any of the intentions of the Buddha's instructions. So there must be no contradiction between them. So in the sutras, the Buddha himself had said, and that actually shows how there is no contradiction between those instructions. He said, completely, do not commit any wrong, and perfectly practice virtue. Completely tame your own mind. This is the Buddha's teaching. So actually, everything that shows that the teachings are non-contradictory is included in the first two lines. Do not commit any wrong and perfectly practice virtue. So within that, we can see that there is no contradiction between the provisionary teachings requiring further interpretation and the definitive teachings. Because when it comes to the pratimoksha of the individual liberation, we must not commit any wrong. And also in the bodhisattva path, we must not commit any wrong. And also in the Vajrayana path, we must not commit any wrong. So this quote, therefore, proves that there is no real contradiction between the teachings that require further interpretation and the teachings of definitive meaning.
Ta sanje chomdin de ge changwu tong da ngebu tong de tin ba ka kholo ramba sum de zo tamje la yang gongbang garmi de hiba gongbang garmi yinba la yinba da de hiba de yin de ta nga ju de ge ji ju sama da ju ning man da tamje yang gongbang garmi de hiba yinba dar de ha go go ba de zo tamje la nyam yi nang kin ge ji jagan phakpo yor ne jo parsin te pa torndo jin nang kin ge lopon lo do yap se la so ba tang de na yin ge ta nga san yin ge ju de tam ji nyang yi nang ki ji da guru rumbo che tang de na yin ge saraha tang dane naro ba la so ba dan da tam ji ge yang chusar tam ji hyan sung bu chusar tam ji la garmi de ha ko wa tang thar to undu dan de tam ji ge ning bo ra wo de so so rani ge ju la je jang chok ge sem ju ma ma yin ba ji ji a ge tab yin ba dang de da ba jang chok sen ju ma ma yin ba ji ban de le de ni jawa yang da ba zu bu san ji ge chin zang dang pe ji de la so ba yong tin tam ji de ni da yin lun ji zhe ba la zhe ba dar de de ni yang mu de zhe de ba tab ser ko na yin ba yin zang de ni de so ba la ngar da ji yong ta mi ba re is de zang ma ze ba ge de ni zambal lain di gang la da chulok dang chulok ma da wa mang po yo ba yin na yang log ma da wa zam ri ma to ge mik pa tung ke mi yon ra wa de ne da je jamba dan ze wa la so ba to ni de ni yin la da ro ram dang pin to ji ba la jing tun yin ba de la so ba ge de ni sam no de so so nang la dang de de ni so so ge sem de ji jing tun dang Jikten ra wa tanda ge sam no ge jing du hi ji tun ta ba yin na so so ge sem da la de ni zambal lain da la yang di gang la yang ji Jikten Rao Dan, Tundern Rao ke Samno Della, Dene Yongtaba, Nawa Semjeranzo Yinza. That day, Tony, Dene Naranzo, Namba Sanje ba Yimpechane Laparto, Deniji Semla, Jancho Semke, Yuntin Dene, Deni Nankale Jachewa Yinzang. Teni ngaranzo ke samno ke mingbin rawo deang te tawe jacher tango yoris katse ke samno te jacher tun to ba yin yang de gam zang ke teni soso la yungtin tenda ke jachin bo je to ko yoris pen soso ke sem de je bompa tawe chung chung ji ina teni de je yungtin ru chung chung ji ke je gang song ina 다 데니 티칼 지 같이서 지 주만보 루바이나 양 참아 슬로론 본도로 간서 룩사 누나오도 총자네 다 소소게 레다 베나 지 범파다 총총뭐 담보 쳐제 그 박강 고슬로로 야야나 다 슬로로 차화고 인지케라라 호야가서 running cats and dog 다 데다 바데나야 참보 강쟁 낭 데마 참아 슬로로 마 돈도로 다 소수 셈 대제 자체를 당도 제 잠소나 yin 제바이나 다 잠소 지바데 다제 추 난게 다 자체 휴제리데 다 남칸의 밥에 차바 참아데 딘나만 로노요라 잠소나 단데 다베베는 제 베트 솔레네 강다양 소소라니 라제 케핀제 고유나 되니 케핀데 린당데 하고 돈은 히랍다 남주 쩌드 돈은 데타블린도 바제 고요 바레스
So the Buddha, with regard to those teachings requiring further interpretation and the definitive teachings, so the Buddha turned the Dharma wheel 3 times, and what we need to understand here is that the intent, the enlightened intention of the Buddha in all of these teachings is not contradictory. And so this is how we need to understand it. And so likewise in the tantras, the various classes of tantras, of old and new tantras, all should be understood as being non-contradictory in their enlightened intention. And also regarding the practices of the sutra vehicle of paramitas, originating in the noble land of India, Nagarjuna and his hard sons and so forth, all of their enlightened intent is the same. There's no contradiction. The various masters of the old and the new schools like Guru Rinpoche and Saraha, Naropa and so forth, the Dharma that they taught is non-contradictory. So the essence of their teachings ultimately is the same, and that is the essence is that all of their instructions are methods for us to develop unfabricated bodhicitta within our mind stream. And this unfabricated bodhicitta is the source of all the enlightened qualities, the major and the minor marks of a fully perfected Buddha. And these qualities are actually primordially and spontaneously established within us, but the teachings are just methods to actualize them. And so it is important to see that there is no contradiction. And also in this world, there are many different religions, even though there are many different traditions. There is also no contradiction because the intention is the same, and that is to cultivate love, loving kindness, a wish to help others, benefit others. So that's they all share in common. So it just depends how we think in our mind, our perception in our mind. And so if you're able to and bring it all to one common root, and then all the traditions in the world will also be viewed as non-contradictory. And because actually all appearances, the way we perceive things, things are the manifestation of our own mind. And so since we are Buddhist practitioners especially, we need to develop this quality of bodhicitta. The quality of bodhicitta is more vast than the sky, it's greater than the sky. So if we are able to develop such a common intention, as a common goal, a vast mind of bodhicitta, then also vast qualities can arise in our mind. For example, if your mind is like a vase, if the vase is very small, then only very few qualities can fit in it. And once the vase is full, if you try to pour in more water, it will just overflow because the vessel is too small. So if you put the vase outside and it's like raining cats and dogs, then it will all overflow. But if the mind is vast, like an ocean, then any kind of water, any amount of water can be contained within it. When it rains from the sky, then the ocean can contain it all, it can hold it all. So basically, if one wishes to gain an advantage, a benefit from one's practice, then one must retrieve this benefit by using one's own potential of awareness, of wisdom.
다 산제 코랑 까탐젤은 낭핀sun garwa mi song yore te ngarang chok te garwa ta be che khelang de wai na ta ngarang chok kwa lin dang non de do te yin za kare song yore sna dawa druma dole Jikten kam ne tong da de nge ne do de gang xie ba song ching de ta de dong jik de chik jing number gombe na de da tam che gombran jor so take do yores.
So the Buddha's teachings need to be understood as non-contradictory. And if we see a contradiction, then our own understanding is mistaken. And the sutra that proves that is the Chandra Pratipa Sutra, where it says, the sutras I have taught in 1,000 world realms have different wordings, but the same meaning. By practicing a single word, they are all practiced.
Tana yinge George Chuji Pongbo Jet Tang Yidong Sungba Gain Ba Chunin de la Jorxing Bao Song.
And then also Atisha said, whichever of the 84,000 collections of Dharma have been taught, they all engage in and boil down to true reality.
Oh, yeah, that the Dorji Song Job Jebate. Danga Tarmi Katar one ye song. Ta Dikapso Yang Ying Yitzar de la Ta Nyamsu Langberg Jun da Yong Ting Gang in the Yang. Then Danga Kona Tartata. 这个有的是做起来打得了吧，上了当着有了。但你搞是搞得蛮团那样，当我的团队能这个意思，他得那着急引了有脏。但你他当我的
那样，
搞得蛮
团那样，
搞得蛮团那样，当我的团说呢，这个吧这，但他样用抽把的话得到不去，但他用完呢。 Then Jikten Sunggo Sunde, that data so Galato go your song.
Then we come to Vajra statement 18. It says, it ought not to be as the fifth instruction, it ought to be as the Buddha's instructions. And that is because some people claim that the defects and qualities of practicing arise exclusively according to the profound fifth instructions. So what they are trying to say is that sometimes even if it does not agree with the Buddha's teachings, if it agrees with the instructions, then it is fine. But Jikten Sumgön says it doesn't just have to agree with the instructions, it has to agree with the Buddha's instructions.
Dan de tahi gang le huba na yi sanje ke nyam se lin tang ke ramba de chupon je te yadon na ma che mala pa song yu ba wa ta de song ye du da de sung ba bo de de sanje si hizi ne lo tam je che ta wa yin chin kin je ke song yu ba yin cha dan da la ya tong ba yin na de ni gor sa da nor sa yong go yo ma res yin da yang dang wa sung ba bon da tam je Chan Zang che pena cholam zang top de ba da yang na che thonglam che de zang gomlam zaw de da che top de ba de gan za yin cho ba ra de le tin pe ke yang lam goma tham che ke to za de cha chang wa so ke tu ju la man thong wa tan da yu cho ro wa de yin zang de ni yang chan zang de na ke to ni che so ke nyam de so la yang de na yong thom de yu ba yin zang de ni zo chi kyu de da ya ga da to go yo ro is da de lo ma chi bo la ho yo ma rin da te ha go do lo ma chi bo ke ga da tung go se la ma ge bi hi ni ra ni ke da lo ma tham je ke so la ya to ba nyam to ba da to ber ji yong ba kap so nga le nyam nyong te chi son te ri sam ya cham ke 담본 저게 요 말이스 당가 그냠뇽 데 산제 그 가든 튼그 요미 따고 요로 데디 로버 더 따고 테 라고 요 망무만이 따고 요라 소소 따다 게비히니 다 세드 뎀바탄제 그 따다 요로야 다데 산제 가든 튼그 요나 카톡 린데 다 ndaden deri ndende 마리스네 람상 린 자토고 요리스 다디 로마게 야뻬 tomber je ambate 냠뇽 데 nyam lan na wala so bande ta so la de ha de ta ma chi ba yu cho ge ro de ha da ma chi ba yin na de ja ka la to go a jang jang chi de wa de ta ka la to go a jang jang ta de ndu ka den thun de ba yin na de ni dai de yo ri ram pin yin pin ni ka ndo go yo ri de ni kar si ka dang 튼 그 미바이나 양의 소속의 냠뇽 야문의 로마의 냠뇽 되니 더 담제라 다 소속의 까다얀 튼바지죠 다 반랑게 당와 산제게 추석의 탑람띵 여자 두술람네 되니 야드라 난고요 바리스
So as I mentioned before, the Buddha taught the 84,000 Dhamma teachings as a graduated path without any omissions. Everything is included completely. And so the Buddha himself, the one who taught these teachings, himself is someone who had truly realized the nature of everything that is to be known. And for this reason, in his path, there will be no deviations or mistakes. And that is unlike some who just merely give instructions without having realized the complete path. So, for example, there are some who give instructions, but they might have only reached the path of accumulation or the path of seeing or the path of meditation. But they have not yet given birth to the entire path without anything missing. And so therefore, if we just follow these instructions, then now one's realization will not go beyond this kind of level. And so therefore, it doesn't really agree with the entirety of the Buddha's teachings. And so here, we're not just speaking about the disciples. That's also one thing to be understood, but also the spiritual teacher, the guru, and the gurus themselves. So first the disciple gains some experience and realization, and then offers this to the guru, as in shares with the guru one's experiences, one's visions, one's realizations. But then it is not enough to just share them, but also one needs to, first of all, make sure that these experiences actually are in accordance with the Buddha's teachings. So one needs to practice them already beforehand according to the Buddha's instructions. So we're not just like sharing some momentary arisings, whatever arises in the mind, but before that we have already relied on a qualified and authentic guru, and we know that this is what we need to practice, this is what we don't need to practice, and then we engage in practice accordingly in an authentic way, and then we are sharing these experiences with, or visions and so on, with the guru. But we have already beforehand examined whether or not our approach actually contradicts the Buddha's teachings. And so as long as they don't contradict, one's practice doesn't contradict the Buddha's teachings, it is fine. Then it will be of benefit for oneself and for one's others. So this refers to really both the disciple and also the spiritual teacher, in terms of when they give teachings and when they then practice the teachings, and then how the experiences arise. All of this must be in accordance with the Buddha's teachings. So, and this is how the Buddha taught the path of skillful means.
Kyobpa Tenzin Kamsong Korba Jo Sombare. That thing in the Som Yorwa, David thing in the Salva thing in the Matopa thing in the song. That did a thing in the Sombonda Yink Sungdu Yibala Kosum Kjocha the Yuris, Chukolong Trukusum Kjocha the Yuris, Sombarwa. That Jikten Sumgön Gandala Yang. Da Hyepcha Nang Dingin in Sumbo de Shimba Sungwa ina Dingin in Sumbo de la Teni Kamsum Gjocha Rogo Yoris, Chukud Lungo Tuga Rubia the Payat. Da Shimba de Kaduchi Yungo Yorisina Perna Devin Yamchi endu. Then is so la Zupuka la Ying and Tsung Tobi Tsung Zo Yombayinaya, Tsoa Deva Jendo, dance and get that Gomdra Yorova. Gomd. That in it Denyam la Hine, Deviniam la Hindu, Chingro Yuri. Teaching Walatine, do come la Jevalindo Yuris. Then it Tassawa Nyamla Tinte, then it Be Yayora Bena. Kangba Tongba Simon Kangba Tongba Nana, then it double Shawana yin, then Salame go Cesar Nasser Zealand, the Teta Chan Yam the Charandu, that in Yam de la Gane, Gayin winner, then he do, then Zukam la Javal in Roguri songe. Himbatek Zukam Tanjing so Lai Lu Lamdo to so chick of Wula think at Wula. Ta Motobanyam Sebandetini Ta Jiang go not so times a chugela, Chuni says hard chores, that day young Yaganda which is right. Deda which Zangi down Kayang made dewa Pubala Tampechi Yorwa Marmit long part days why in Zomchige de Yaros. Toma check Saswina, Zomchige de Yas. That then that so Kashi Yagachan injury de counter. Moto Banyan
Tonda Cheno.
don't die. Don't die,
Chiki Sana the Nicker.
Jinkorn Toma Hyang on the check Sason Tini. The Thomas Sumgön Zamshele, de Yawaina, Tini Kana Saro. Then I yinke Jikorkalan Chupa
Zumshile Dena Tonda Cheno.
La.
Zumshile Days, na?
That young Mazin, the cote Pajer Tazogolo.
Kamacheno.
Zimban, Dan Zimbando, ye me the Warwatan Zimbando. Zato and Hirami de Vajra. Dan Yagaton Vena, that Chuni Sesandro Chortoso, some Jamachabar de young, the Takakaret Kanzanga Hela young, Mune Chuni Sesalamanchor. Maso kun zambono yo a jiang zhemi tome wa si na tome cha de wa ta te ta ji ri song yin na ta te so so ge ji ta mo do nyam tan rawo rawo ji yo ra ta mo do nyam te len rawo rawo yin ta te le hin du tin te ge zumi kan ta je wa len je ge jo sin ro yo zang tani ta ta ra de kan ta ya hin ba zong so wa yin kan song ko ge jo chan ro yo ri song le ting en ji song bo da.
We come to Vajra statement 19. It says, the three faultless samadhis are the cause of the three samsaric realms. So the three samadhis are the experiences of bliss, luminosity, and non-thought. And other people claim that a faultless samadhi is the cause of the three kayas. And Sumgön says that, however, if one clings to those experiences of bliss, luminosity, and non-thought that arise through practicing samadhi, then that itself becomes the cause of being born in the three samsaric realms. And he says, leave alone not attaining the three kayas, one actually takes birth in samsara. When we develop those samadhis, for example, the samadhi, this experience of bliss, it is said that through this deep absorption in a meditation, even if someone were to put a weapon onto you, you would only experience bliss. But then, if one clings to this experience of bliss, it will bind one to samsara. So through this bondage, one will take birth in the desire realm. And regarding the experience of clarity or luminosity, it is just like the moonlight shining or illuminating an empty house at night. So there is this aspect of illumination, transparency, lucidity. And when one becomes attached to this experience, one takes birth in the form realm. For example, when we speak about the bodies of the gods, and we speak about these light bodies. So the God form is related to this experience of luminosity. And then regarding the experience of non-thought, so it can be seen in different ways. In a better way, for example, we speak about everything becoming exhausted within reality itself, within the Dharmata. And then there is non-thought with regard to that. But then also there is another side to that. There's this one saying in Tibet, it is like when a battle lamp is extinguished in the wind, and there's just one just abides without thinking anything. So it's just like extinguished, like an extinguished flame, which is like when you watch a dorma being eaten by the dogs. So if there's a dorma in a mandala and it's eaten by a dog, and you just don't feel anything, you don't think anything, and you don't do anything about it, that's the other side to non-thought, the less desirable one. So also in the Samantha Vajra prayer, this is related to as, it's referred to as the state of like thinking nothing whatsoever. You're kind of in this state of complete dullness, completely dull state. So it might be similar to the experience of non-thought. So one might have some kind of experience of non-thought, but if one clings to it, it becomes the cause of birth in the formless realm. So basically, when there is clinging in the mind, then those kinds of samadhi all become the cause of birth in the three realms of samsara.
Nyam sumbo de la shi ma song ba ina teni kansong ko wale torji gujjo cha yorwa teni kosom ya gujjo cha ko yorwa te inzan ta te la himba pango sonne teni gombo pamo jba ke desa la chapa pang je de sem sanje so topa gombar cha sondo.
But then if one doesn't cling to those three experiences, then the samadhi becomes a cause for becoming liberated from the three samsaric realms, and also become a cause for accomplishing the three kayas. But one needs to abandon the attachment, the clinging to them. And so to that, and what Pamudrupa said, having abandoned attachment to bliss and luminosity, you should practice the realization of the mind as the Buddha.
Oh yeah, then the dan nishopa dorji so nishopa kusum re la yang sunga chang so da chuga longer tugo yorwa ti kusum re la yang da sunga chang sung de Jikten sunga yorwa ti nandung zo de karisna kusum go yirmi in bijim singe cha de yorwa yin ya da yin ge yang yi chor de de sa ngunjin da manda ba 타지 잉게 때다 응은진도 그 메바이나야 당가랑서 때다 응은진 뭐로와 치도양 송그 요로와 된데 되네 에페나 되는 콜로 돈바 빠른 콜로 돈바 단 손지 콜로솜 코솜든 손지 손드 콜로 돈바 게다 단 콜로 돈 베징커건 콜로 요로와 콜로 된 sombar시베 다코섬 히엔 거 요르 다코섬데 데니 페나 단 콜로 돈바 쿠네 다 히아르이 다라 히아르이다 차주니 데니 데니 쿠네 다 네투라 소반 푸손 소반 나다 뎀바 데타브데 롱클 요ong 요라 롱클 요 데니 타염 도르진 남저마 데타 히랍 그 라인도 히랍 그 차니 히랍 동반이 그 차니 죽을 요ong도 데니 다 요르니 히잡기 저 용아랑서 남준 동도가 요르니 히잡기 네 숨지자니 또 주진보제 전단 동바 데 초아드스는 동야요와 다 간다르 요르니
숨지자니
다 숨지자니 등 공당에 다스 졸라데 다 요르니 히잡기 대장근 그 요르니 히잡기도 달네페 다 파워단 칸로 담지 쯔부거리스 다 대임발라 Then there's ne so la kaka no ne de ba kaka in ban ro ji ta ko sum bo de loga in ban ro ji yin go ro yin ke ta jiktin sung gu to so chama ta ngo ye mi ris tan de so chama dene ta so ju ni gang pen ter ba de dene zai kam la ka zan ye gang gong la de hyo cho tam ba regja 차당 지 요리 휴인바 되나 기회는 소소라 참가 요리 제니 대엔도 소ngo 일미리 송거 요리
So then the next Vajra statement 20 says each of the three bodies has the natural characteristic of all three. So the three bodies of the Dhammakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya, they all have, each of them has a natural characteristic of all three. And so he's basically saying that the three kayas are indivisible, inseparable. And so others claim that the Nirmanakayas and Bhogakaya and so on at the 24 places and so on are explained to be three different kayas. So here we are not necessarily saying that somebody else specifically said that, but it's just for us something to understand, a point to be understood. So, for example, in Chakasambhara's mandala, we speak about three wheels or three spheres that represent the three kayas. And so Chakasambhara himself is said to have 4 faces and 12 arms, and he's the embodiment of the 5 perfections. And so as such, he is the Sambhogakaya. And then the consort, Vajrayogini, has the nature of wisdom or emptiness. And for this reason, she is the Dharmakaya. And then the 24 sacred sites, those sacred places, are inhabited by the Dakas and the Dakinis, which are the Nirmanakaya. And so in this way, one may think that there are those separate places inhabited by separate beings. So it seems as though the three kayas are separate. So others might illustrate it in this way, describe it in this separated way. But Jikten Sumgön is saying that they are actually not separate. The three kayas are indivisible, inseparable. And that is actually, they are within our own body, from the crown down to the soles of one's feet. As you mentioned before, one's body is pervaded by these channels. And we mentioned that these are pervaded by the 100 peaceful and wrathful deities. So it all abides together inseparably.
다 perna dunker want to say by na chen nang yin som song ko yore chen jiktin ne becomes nang lu zalong tilikam song yin chuni songjog dani jin dan de ta ko senang yin som song ko yore nde yang so so ko lu jipo la chang ko yore perna ta ya songjog darade chuni songjog de ta so so sem ko ton ta nyamne jin de chang ko yuri sam ko Tene nang lu ke zalong la so ba zalong teksom de yang so so lu la yo ba de lamsang sen la char to go ba ta nyam ni je na ma je na ko so so lu to lo yo ba na je ha ko to ra ta sen jik din ne ba kam de kan da so so lu to lo yo ba ri se tal tel sam no je ko ro The Nyecharang around so good, shooting by never Kyobpa so gom jabari tikala. Jikten Tatara Sosoko, they and they do some sound of Yongsibarwa, then Gaheke, that shooting by never Yobalate, such a melon joa, Tamje gom de chom that in Jurua, the Kandayanta, Dere Sosoke, walk down the yonder, long imba. Soso lula true imba de me imba. Tene cha la soba jun, Yang Tamya Pando Yandoso Sama, the Karehongazo. Choimba. Tening around so cantar sakalama dea bakta, Gupjata Solaman, Chea, to Chea, Yobandoso, Teni Sama Saga Yundimba, Saimba. Tening around so a parong throne, the Chekon, Jindo Yanda, that Nanquaka coming in the bar. Then the so Sama around so Zubu Nitola Yodebarewa. That Timbani Yakam, the Rabbit gone, Teni the Sol and Joran Rotanke, that Matabi Barat to Naranso Tana Gong Rivata. Chutimbani Rajaba Tana Gongo, Coran Desinjani. That the Rabi in the oh, Same Timbani Yahine, Gomdeni, that the Son Java Yobarta said, Sanga Dorji Tipukaps, the song that the son, Sanuchi Tambana, oh, that he gone be Huemba, Jig Tony Gayamba, then the Queen Tony, says the Munerindo Ase. Ta data which ran to Sibarwa, ta Kandaya. Tenda inza, Gosumbo Hibate and Dundermi Budoni, then so Lula Tsang Yoba. Lula Tsawazam as a Gosumbo Korang Layanji, no Yirmi Yimba, than the Jikten Sumgön the Songhoyore.
For example, during the color chakra empowerment, we speak about during Kala Chakra, we speak about the outer, inner, and other aspects. And so the outer aspect is the outer world that actually abides within us. Then the inner aspect is the elements of channels, winds, and drops within us. And then the other aspect is that we are in union with reality itself, with Dharmata. It all is included within our own body, within ourselves, the outer, inner, and the other. In terms of the other, which is that we are in union with Dharmata or reality, true reality, that is something that we can actually conceive of. Now, especially when we engage in practice and we look at the mind, we can see how we are in union with the true reality. And also we can understand how the channels, winds, and drops are within our own bodies. That's something, even if we don't practice them, and whether or not we practice them, we can understand that the channels, winds, and drops are in our body. But we might wonder about the first one, the outer aspect, and how the outer universe, the outer world, is actually included within our own bodies. And so for that, we apply practices like the application of mindfulness, like the application of mindfulness of phenomena. So, for example, in this context, we meditate on the elements and our mindfulness of the elements. And so one might think that what's the point in meditating on earth, water, fire, wind? But actually, this is how we can understand how the outer is really included within ourselves. For example, your breathing, your breath is the wind element, and your body heat is the fire element. And then the blood flow and the heartbeat are moved by the water element. And then you have a kind of gravity. You can sit down on a chair and so on. And that's the earth element. And then you have freedom of movement. You can go here and there. And that's because this freedom of movement is due to the space element. So the elements are all complete within your own body. And this is what we recognize through this application of mindfulness of phenomena. And so when we are mindful of phenomena, what we also recognize is their changing nature. We recognize impermanence when we are mindful of phenomena. And so then whether we're practicing calm abiding, shamatha, or according to the Vajrayana, what we recognize here is what we mentioned before, this quote: if you see the emptiness, if you recognize the emptiness of one, you recognize the emptiness of all. So through such mindfulness, you can actually recognize this is how it actually really is. And this is how you recognize that the three kayas are complete within your own body. And not only that, the three kayas, according to Jikten Sumgön, are also indivisible.
Tate kusum yermi yembatang, kusum korang korre la yang kusum bo changwande, kare resina, perna chujiko tawajil chayana, dongbachani chujikos, sarvachani trubukos, ta sartong songdu sarvachani trubuka, sartong de songdu jondu, ta tichani lonchu zobuka sine, tara song yure, chujika tawala sona. Teni longula, tok tudarte chujikas. Teni nipanga de dimbande, lonchu zobuka. Tan dele ngami de sanang wa hyangwande, de trubuka song. Teni truka dela, tok tudar hyawade chujika. Teni sanang mangaba de lonchu zobuka. Teni kok. Tikabs ko korang de trubuka chade yorwa tenza ta korre la ya ko sum tanavan yude bari son.
So the three kayas are indivisible, and within each kaya, the other kayas are complete. For example, the Dharma kaya also contains the other kayas. So the emptiness aspect would be the Dharmakaya, the clarity aspect, Sambhogakaya, and then their union, the Nirmanakaya. And then for the Sambhogakaya, if there's a Sambhogakaya, the unelaborated mind is the Dharmakaya, and then the Sambhogakaya possessing the five certainties is the Sambhogakaya, and then the unceasing appearance, the unceasing illumination is the Nirmanakaya. And then, so this is how the three kayas are complete within Sambhogakaya. And how the three kayas are complete within Nirmanakaya, so also the mind is, the unelaborated, peaceful mind is Dharmakaya, and the unceasing clarity is Sambhogakaya, and then so together they are the Nirmanakaya.
Tate ndi soso driba nyamli nangwa po soso rani ke che nang yin somdang, ko som irmi yin zang teta do nyamsa langwa ina, tenen rewe a teta wa togri song, tenen te ta ju nana kare song kudo sina. Lu je kolo nyanggawa chike sumbo govyerdin. Rangi yin la le sungwe kaba je timba yin. Ngubo kunten nyambe na zhuye parne rabda dra. Kusong tokji tsurji ne teni kolo somdo ju. Lama ju per rimji ne zogbu jinkroni to SARS.
And so then if one, as a practitioner, practices in this way, where the outer, inner, and secret, or the outer, inner, and other are unified, and the body, enlightened, as three kayas are unified, then also the result will be accordingly. And it is said in the Tantras that the joyful experience of the body mandala is possessed in the 4 portals as they were taught. It is supported by the 8 pillars that arise from one's limbs. Since it is analogous to everything, it is well known as the square. Through the aspects of body, speech, and mind, there is what is called 3 chakras. Through the succession of the lineage gurus, it becomes visible as the complete mandala itself.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you very much, everybody. Sunam de Tamje Zebani, Tovani, Verdanan Panze, Tigananja Balon Robaya, Zibon, Zolan, Rova, Jo, Pama, Simjin, Tanje, Dedan, Danger, Jen, Indo, Tanje, Dada, Domara. Chanjo Zamba Ganda Zajo Ba Deda Gunja Molan Ba Jo Simjin Nepa Jinye Ba Nirde Nele Tarjir Jendove Nena Malu Daden Jongwa Me Ba Jo. May every being ailing with disease be freed at once from every malady. May all the sickness that afflicts the living be instantly and permanently healed.